Hey, Anyo! This is Nisha T from Living Bangtan 7. And we are here live in Seoul, Korea, South Korea for Jin Festa 2024, my friends. Woo! And we are doing our live show from SUPERSTARDDUCK Topokki, our absolutely amazing ARMY family who runs SUPERSTARDDUCK Topokki, the sweetest, kindest, gentlest people. I am telling you, it makes me cry. Because when I met him originally, I said, hey, I would love so much to do something at your store one day. If there's ever a possibility, and that was a year and a half ago before we even created LB7, and here we are. Hi, Gracie. How are you? Hi, Hillary. I know they're the best, aren't they? Do you guys remember Namjoon posting this? You remember Namjoon posting this? That was from outside their store. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, they're absolutely the best. I am so excited to have a chance to be here and to be able to, share our Festa experience with all of you. And honestly, I am so honored to have the opportunity to have an opportunity to be able to bring you the LB7 message live from Superstar Duck Topokki. Um, Look how sweet. So these are the special PCs that you're getting. These you're getting today. These will be coming to you in the next few days. So if you're here in Seoul, make sure that you come back to Superstar Duck because we have 4 special PCs that we have prepared for you that are all wellness messaging that comes directly from our newest project called Project Bulletproof Eternal, which is a project that has to do with not just creating but sustaining our wellness messaging, our wellness plan. Yes, please. our message, our wellness planning. And what we've done is we've actually finally created that 27-page workbook. It is ready, guys. So you're getting 4 pages directly out of the workbook if you participate. And if you actually come out to you will be able to get these small versions where you can handwrite and erase every day. So we made 4 versions. So make sure that you come out for their FESTA event and then you'll be able to get those. Today we have a few things available as well for you. Eugene is supposed to come out and say hello, but I'm going to try and walk in so you can see the place. Here it is. There's Terry. Now I have to be careful because I'm gonna have to jump off of this and run over to um my my computer in order to do the live from there. So I will probably go ahead and mute this in for a few moments and go close my cam and mute, and I'll see you guys in just a few minutes. And here I am. Whew. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do that. And my glasses do this dark thing. So, and I want to make sure and take a few minutes, and we're going to introduce our lovely guests for the day. We should have 1 or 2 more people because we asked guests to just come on as they had some time to share their Hangtan stories. Today is all about sharing the stories and asking those 3 simple questions of ourselves. What is it about Bangtan that we connect to the most? Why have we been able to sustain that relationship with them? Why is it that we are sometimes a million miles away from them? Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Hillary. I'm so glad you learned about us today. We have some people who learned about us out of Superstar Ducks. Okay. Hey, Gracie, I'm going to try and let you in. We're having some problems with it's saying that your device isn't connected, so come back in. Exit and come right back in again, okay? Okay. For now.
That's okay. Tessa and I are just diving to print. Just for now. Remember, you're not backstage. No wonder. Oh, yay! We actually had two Army already come out before we started the show and came and said hello to us and said that they found us through here also and they had to leave so they couldn't stay for the show. But we chatted. That was just amazing for me. Oh my god, absolutely amazing. So they said they love what we do and they love our energy, and you know what? I'm hoping with all of my madness and craziness, because being here can cause that. And so we're going to jump straight into the conversation a little bit, and let's introduce Tessa. Tell them a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Hi everyone. I am Tessa Lashley. I'm a school psychologist. I live in Florida, so it's about 11 p.m. my time. I'm gonna be awake. um, I really got introduced to BTS and K-pop through my teen daughter, and fell in love with BTS. I'm still a fairly new baby ARMY as of 2022. So I'm still learning quite a lot. Love them all, OT7, and love the journey that I've been on with LB7 and in the phases that they're going through right now. So
Hey, Hillary, how long have you been Army? I think, Tessa, you've been Army. You are now officially over a year, right? A year and a half?
hmm yeah,
And how
2022. So
Ah, so Hillary's 2021. Anyone who's watching, get in the chat. Come on, guys. They're ready for you to share your BTS Bangtan love stories. We actually have quite a few people on. We're on multiple channels right now, so I'm able to see anyone wherever you are. It's not just on YouTube. If you're live on our X, please feel free to jump on here and say hey. Hold on. Hey, K-pop Plus Army. Woohoo! Okay, bear with us while we're on here. Let me tell you, doing a live show from this side of the world it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I decided that Terry was going to give me one good bop.
And I said no, but I'm probably the cause of half of her stress. She hadn't planned on coming over and having to like literally babysit me to make sure that I get on the right trains and don't buy a car
Don't
walking
get.
across the street. So
It's been
yeah, I'm
fun.
just too busy meeting Army and not paying good attention sometimes. So she has to like roll me back.
you've been taking beautiful pictures and documenting everything, and a lot of us have really enjoyed following the journey and sharing some of the experiences. Thank you, Terry.
We have so much to share with you still. We've been so many places, and we just haven't had a chance to even jump you in there. Okay, we're about to get both Joanna and Gracie. Here we go.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Joanna. Hi, Gracie.
There you
What
are.
a hey! Happy Festa! Oh my
Happy Festa,
gosh!
guys. This is insane. Oh my God. Insane. I am live with Terry and Soul at SUPERSTARDDUCK Topokki. Are you seeing this place? There's Terry, by the way, right next to me. Look at how adorable it is. Terry's got to show you all of the really sweet stuff that we have on the table. I'm going to take a second, just show it to you. I think I had to jump out in order for you guys to be in. So I'll probably come back in a few minutes and share a picture of all the cute little things that we got. Grace, go ahead and take yourself off of mute. All right, so let's go ahead and introduce Terry and then Grace and Joanna. That would be wonderful. Thank you guys so much. We have a lot of people racking up joining the show. Introduce yourself.
I'm Terry. I'm from Minnesota, and I met Michelle at the start of my Bangtan. So I've been an Army about 3 years now this June. It's my first festa out of the country. Actually, ever been my first real festa.
Amazing. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've been documenting our Festa experience with Terry right here, getting a chance for me to show the world. So if you're looking at our TikToks and you're looking at our Instagrams, you're also going to be able to see um, Terry experiencing as South Korea, but the BTS experience for the first time. So that's been pretty insane. Been interesting. We've been. She wants to make sure that we're going places we've never been before, so that's kind of cool. She's like, no, go places that you've never been. I want to make sure you see. So we had this amazing trip to Ilsan, and I will tell you, I thought about it a lot. So let's go back and let's introduce Grace and Joanna, and I'm going to go back to that Ilsan trip and talk about why uh, it's such an important step. Terry, you have to speak louder because remember you're muted. Well, she's on mom. Otherwise, we have feedback, so you got to yell basically. So, Grace, you want to introduce yourself? Tell everyone what you do back in Florida.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Hi, my name is Grace. I'm from Puerto Rico. I moved to Florida in 2006, 16, 17. Um, I worked for Disney like for 6 years, and now I'm a teacher for kids with disabilities. And then I became an army thanks to a friend, like in 2016, 2017 too.
Feel free to dance. Do it, guys. Okay, Gracie, congratulations on graduating with your master's degree.
Thank you.
Wow, congrats.
Yay,
Thank
great
you.
job. Man, I've been with Gracie now for about a year and a half or so. Hi, baby. It's
Aw.
Laura.
Oh, he's so nosy.
We all have fur babies except for Terry, but she's like adopted my fur babies as her grandkids. So yeah. Okay. So Gracie works with at-risk kids. You know, our project is a neuroplasticity based. It's based on the neurochemical changes in the brain and what can we do to divert some of the trauma responses and the negative confidence by using the Bangtan method, the method of the healing messages of Bangtan, BTS. So she's been doing things in her classroom, I think, that are very formidable and very formative for making that type of change. I know Tessa's doing it constantly in her work field, bringing the message into there. And then our last amazing, but not at all the least, is Joanna Tupas, who's coming to us live from the Philippines, I think.
Hello, mabuhay. Hey, everybody. Super live from the Philippines. Happy festival. It's crazy this past few days. I absolutely love it.
It's okay. Her cam is going to come and go because of her internet connection where she is. I'm just really happy that Eugene has such amazing Wi-Fi here at SuperStarDuck. By the way, you can come and have a working day right here at SuperStarDuck. Come on out, show them lots of love, give them your business, and remember they have this adorable Army Pack special. So if you buy a specific meal, there's an Army Pack. And guess what's getting added? There's going to be a new Army Pack with LB7 stuff. For the next year, Eugene will be hosting our wellness pack right here at SuperStarDuck. So anyone who comes out, make sure to ask for the Living Bangtan 7 wellness pack with the worksheets. Guys, can you imagine? Did you think a year and a bit ago that we were going to be at a place like this? That this is what was going to happen? Okay,
Let me.
let's look at All right, so we're going to jump straight into the show. Um, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that you. Hey, you guys can take a seat. They'll come out and get you in just a moment. Yeah. Sorry, we're friends and we're doing a live show for Army. That's what we're doing. I see you up there. So we're Army from Florida. She's from Minnesota. Hey, there's Army coming in. And we have special gifts to Army who come in today. We are a mental wellness organization and we teach mental wellness and self-care through BTS. So we have self-care packages based on the workbook that we have coming out. So we're doing we're actually streaming global right now. So everybody's here watching me chat. So that's what I'll be doing as we go through, guys. So we're here. I wish I could turn it around for you. Where are you guys coming from? Germany, nice. And you? Chicago. Oh, close to Tori, Minnesota. It's gonna be the best part of today. I love it. Well, my one of my besties here is from Germany, also German Army. I think she might be here later.
Did you also meet her here? Or?
Yes, we met here.
We met here as well.
And that's the best thing about when you come to Seoul. You find Army fam that is going to be your fam for life. Annika is Germany, and she and I are like sisters. I mean, you'd never know differently. We always plan our trips together, so it's been insane. Oh my God, it's the same thing. It's our third time too. Oh, look at that. This connection is crazy. Isn't it amazing? So basically what we're talking about today is that Army connection. You remember the questions that we put out, my friends? So first of all, we're going to show a couple graphics on here. And of course, it's Ginny Love, right? Because Gin Festa, we're here for our baby. These PCs will be available as you. Oh, I have that one. Will be available. So as you come back here, these will be available as part of our Ginny's Festa package. So keep it looking like that. This is big one is going to be available. That's the smaller version. So sorry, guys. You guys can chat while I'm over here saying hey. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is focusing on a couple of sets of lyrics that we've noticed with Namjoon that he keeps coming back to. Now, we have Right Place, Wrong Person, and the entire album has set the world on fire. I mean, that's what I feel like. I don't know, what is your take on that? When we're looking at the 11-year journey of Bangtan, what do you think that Namjoon's narrative is telling us as Army? Tessa?
Sure. First of all, I love it. I love the album. I love, his expression, how he combines the artistic elements of it, how some of the songs are so very different in their vibes and their tunes and the music. And just especially when he had that, that piece with Jimin and he was explaining kind of where he's at and what it meant and the different phases of the songs and what it meant for him. It gave, so much more of an insight into why he produced it and how it transitioned from that angry elements at the beginning and sort of goes through towards the end. He needed it. It seems like he needed that. He needed that time away, and he explained he needed sort of that on-off button away from the BTS and the group to figure himself how to explore himself. And to explore his various feelings and emotions over those many years, because it's been quite a journey for them, with the success and the ups and downs. But outside of BTS as a group, for himself as an individual, he needed that exploration and that freedom to express himself in so many different ways. So I really love the album. Yes, some of it is pretty harsh and it's pretty, hard, but that's what he needed to express.
So, how many of you had a chance, hands up, to see the Wings finale as part of Bangtan?
I saw the bit that you posted.
Namjoon's speech. So what you're saying though, Tess, so we're looking at their 11-year journey. Now, let me ask you, do you think that he's only representing himself, or do you feel like he's representing, this is my take on this, do you feel like he's representing all of Army, but and all of BTS with this message. Do you feel like our experiences are also indelible to this album and what he's
Right.
talking about?
That's a big question. And I would say it must represent some phase or some part, even just developmentally. Coming from the school psychologist developmental profile of self identity and self exploration and fitting in versus being different. I'm sure, just in terms of the other members and all of Army, we all go through that at some point in time. Might not be everyone at this point in time, but you've experienced it at some point in time in your journey, in your development. It's quite a natural, part of development as it is in itself. Um, so yeah, I mean, but when I think also when you look at Sugar and his journey as well too, and of course he had his tour, so he really expressed it and he's experienced and he was able to express some more of that anger and that frustration, some of what that Nam June is doing now. He expressed it a little bit earlier, but I feel he had the opportunity to do that more than Nam June did because he was the leader. That's one thing that he was saying as well too. Because he was the leader, he felt he had to be the strong one, be the serious one, be the one leading it. So he wasn't necessarily able to explore or express it as much as probably some of the other members might have been able to. And with us as Army, based on our role, based on our jobs, based on who we are, we might
Right.
not be able to as easily express, well, you know what, I'm frustrated too, or I have anger, or I have feelings, as much as others because of the role that we think we have to play. If that makes sense.
Okay, it's absolute sense. In that keeping, then, Grace, what are you thinking in terms of formation of identity? Then, as an educator, at you, what you because you're special education as well. What do you think that his message? Now, when we're looking at Namjoon as the Runch Randa Namjoon, who we are now getting again with
Mm,
Tomodachi and around the world, we're getting
right.
Runch Randa, which is his pure true self. What do you
Mm,
think about the world's nature to suppress our natural self,
mm,
where he's come.
Um, so being like a facilitator for seventh graders, this is like the period where they are becoming young adults. So it's a lot of issues when, for example, if I come into a classroom to check out my kids and help them on what they need, some of them will decline my help because they think if they ask me for my help, the other kids will make fun of them.
mhm,
Um, so it's like an in between. Like I have some of my kids that are K-pop fans too, and like we connect in different scenarios. Like they just prefer to either come to my classroom where there's no other students there, it's just them, and be able to get the help that they need. So it's a big like a different point of view from me
Right.
because so 31-year-old, like right now I'm getting diagnosed with different things and stuff that I didn't
But you didn't know.
know as a kid, that I had those things.
Right.
um
Right.
so it's growth basically. But being there for the kids is, they will remember you if you're there for them.
So I love what you just said because you're identifying, because you're saying your age cohort with Jin, for instance, and Jin has always said, even if you look at the Suchita episode and when Sugar, Yoongi said, "Hey, where do you want to put your bottle?" and he said, "I will put it next to Namjoon. Namjoon will always be placed first because our leader takes the weight and the burden of
right.
everything and always has."
Mhm,
Years, years, years. We're looking at 10 years later, and Jin is giving the same message. He's acknowledging as an elder to him that
mhm,
regardless, the burden that Namjoon bore for the 11 years
mhm.
is
Yep.
something that has made him the leader that he is today.
Hmm.
There were a few times, and if you can jump in on it, Joanna, there were a few times where Jin and Yoongi had conversations, but also Hobie mentioned how they had to be the backbone for Namjoon quite a lot at a time because it was sometimes overburdening for him. It was too much. I don't know if Joanna's there. Is she able to jump in? But otherwise, anyone can jump in on that. Our internet is in and out. How about Tessa or Terry?
Right, right. Because he speaks about having to be the voice literally because he also was the primary, English speaker as well. But being the voice, being the image, being the representative, doing the interviews, um, and we can't even begin to even imagine that type of pressure as the success and the global image, expanded and blew up, and the level of perfection um, expected of the group and for himself. I mean, he said all that in the interview. No human can contain all of that um, without needing to express it the way he has done now. And I know it could be a bit of a surprise to some or not, but I'm just glad he was able to find an avenue, to find space. He said he sort of needed that space for himself, to find a group of people that he felt safe to be able to explore that part of himself, create something a little bit new. He said with Jimin too, there were lots of different elements of different ways that he explored music in a new way. All part of growth, all part of his growth and development, to be able to deal with that in a healthy way.
Right, right. Joanna, so are you able to hear? Are you able to jump
Yeah,
on? Are you able
yeah,
to jump on that thought then? So you and I, as the mental health side of it, then, when we're looking at an 18-year-old, 17-year-old Namjoon who's 29, going on 30, um, and Gracie's conversation and Tessa, the formative identity, right? Creating who we are. How much does the trauma that they've gone through really weigh on the ability to I don't know what I want to use the word because I want to be careful, right? We don't just create who we are. That's not how it works, right? Everyone, it's just not how it works. You blossom into that person, you fight to become that person, and then you have to fight to sustain that person. So how much does that weigh on sustaining the person who you want to become or should become?
right. When it comes to trauma, a lot of people, because they're not informed, they're not aware in the beginning, and then they're not informed of the trauma that they have or the level of trauma. The first instinct is to be protective of the self, the inner self. And so, in that respect, a lot of them have to wear hats to project several identities. And I think that's one of the things that has become somewhat of a struggle for Namjoon. We have to understand that they started in this industry, in this group, so young, and to be hoisted in a position of leadership. Um, he really definitely had to wear a bigger hat, or he felt like he did. And a lot of people, especially when you're coming from a family where you are older, as you age, you become an adult, and you try to do your own thing. You forget that at a certain point in time, there's an equalizer or balance where all of you guys are on the same level or plane. And a lot of those that don't realize that, they keep wearing this bigger hat that they feel like they should, and they bear the whole world on their shoulders. And that's going to be tough because, at one point it'll be, the hair gets one small thing will break you down. And I think with Namjoon, I love this album because he's coming out of his shell and he's finally realizing that he doesn't have to project so many personalities or so many identities. He can he can rely on his brothers. We're all equal now. We can all co-bear burdens. And I love the word that Tessa used a while ago when she was talking about exploring and discovering. Because um thankfully Nelson allowed himself to also explore. Not just explore the inner self, but also to explore the different varieties of expressions that we have. out there. He's not just an underground rapper, or he's not just a BTS leader, or he's not just, he's not just the idol. He's not. He's There are different genres, and this is way of the expression able to come, to like an output or a product. There's this newness in him, and it shows and it manifests. That absolutely like mind blow. the 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 level of my friend now was just talking to from Connecticut, and she was like, I cannot believe how much farther our boys can change the music industry as we know it, because the different genres that they've merged to create this
Right.
album is amazing.
Right. It's
I'm
incredible.
very proud of them.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, this is Terry's first hip. Maybe you could speak a little bit to the BTS element here. And that's where that Ilsan thing, the Ilsan trip came in. And we were going to go to Ilsan because we wanted to see the mural, right? And really take in that feeling. But Namjoon has a very strong connection to his city, to Koyang, Ilsan. And I was very curious to understand the love-hate relationship that we see him having with Seoul. And so much so that he's written a whole song about
Right.
it. It's extremely deep. And I said, let me go to Ilsan to understand what is it about it that makes him feel that sustained comfort. Because he said that's what he got in Ilsan. And honestly, Terry and I can tell you from having been there, that's actually true.
There was so many
Yeah, no. Don't put it on. Speak over this to me.
there were so many things in Ilsan that defined Namjoon. Knowing him now, living in Seoul, he got a lot of that from like bicycling. That is like the thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
They have actual evidence up to it, talking about how it's like a bicycle. Who knows where people bicycle? Bring that into Seoul. And for me, I can feel some of this frustration because the difference between city size and stuff, it's much more compact, there's so much more art and those types of things that are readily available, and it's quiet compared to it's got to mess with his mind a bit to try and do a lot of the things that he likes to do in Seoul. Not that he doesn't have that, but this city is booming. It's always noisy.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I love what Terry said. We sat there, we walked, and it took us all of 15 minutes to go, oh, I understand Namjoon now. If I hadn't taken the time and walked the area and looked at the level of culture that's there, looked at the way they've created this, the beautification is, I can't even explain it to you. Pictures actually don't explain to you how beautiful it is. And the music is everywhere, and cultural sounds are everywhere, and it's just I got him. I said, oh, I got it, and I felt a good understanding. In such is the same way when you go to Busan. There is, which Terry, I haven't gotten a chance to bring her there yet, but we're going soon. Busan, you completely understand JK. The vibe and the feel of it is a very strongly attached to them. So there's identity.
Right.
So let me go back. Now we're 11 years. We're talking about taking 7 boys. Now the only one who had actually lived anywhere near here was Jin, right? Everybody else was uprooted from somewhere to come here. Now I understand that the city they come from is strongly imprinted on their identity. So let's talk a little bit about us as ARMY. When we come here, how then has that BTS dynamic energy? How does that create an imprint? Can we understand that a little bit? Tessa, you want to talk to that, and then Gracie?
Sure. Well, I mean, of course, I haven't had the honor to be there. I can see through the pictures, but I can try to imagine what you're saying. But I mean, for me, it reflects on the best way that I can answer that is to reflect for myself of when you think of your own identity, you think of your culture, you think of where you've come from. So what brings you peace. You're talking about what Namjoon and his art, he hits his art and nature and being out. Like, what brings you peace? What brings you solace? Where you feel most comfortable in your own skin and in yourself. Um, I guess that's the best way for me to think about that question. And but it also, as you get exposed, or they go into Seoul and they get exposed to so many more different cultures or more aspects, it's not just who you were but also who you want to be, or the potential of where you want to go. So it keeps you rooted and grounded, you know your original identity and your culture, your inner beliefs, what you've been taught, what you've grown up with. But also it also doesn't limit you to what you're exposed to. You can choose pieces and elements of it, of what you like, and what would help with your nourishment and development as an individual.
Right. So Gracie, then we had seven boys uprooted, right? Um, how then? Because you're at that, you're literally teaching the age that was them, right? How then was that reculturation part of the message, I guess, or part of who they became as BTS or as the Bangtan or the Bulletproof Boy Scouts?
Mm,
Big question, right?
yeah. Um.
Most of us are transplants here. Most of us, with the exception of Terry, are from another. We're all migrants, right? Migratory to the U.S. So I came at 3. I can explain to you that I completely understand even what I'm saying today. Identity was extremely difficult for me to formulate, and then much less to figure out who I wanted to be, what I could do, and what language and what narrative should I create. Because I'm Indo-Caribbean, Indian and Trinidadian, and Tessa's Trinidadian as well, and came at a later age. So from that point of view, um, how do you think they were able to create the Bangtan message then? I mean, it's incredible to me. 7 completely different people merge the message. How is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, being like Puerto Rican and not being in the island, sometimes it does. You get like homesick, Like I miss seeing the mountains, like waking up with the
Yeah.
birds, the food, just like the homey aspect. Sometimes I do miss it. Um, it's just like I have like part of my heart is in the island, basically. So you have to understand, like with different cultures, we kind of connect in a way that we understand why they wrote that song, why they connect so much to their hometown, to their home, and all that stuff. So it builds that connection with us, and also
Massive.
with the kids too, because in my school there's a lot of kids that are yes, there is African American, there is white, but there's the majority are Latinos or Hispanic. Um, so getting to know more about their culture and how they connect with it is really amazing.
So I marvel at the fact that we have 7 young men who, and Namjoon was saying with his mini money, right? I mean, they fought with each other quite a lot, and then they said it on Suchita actually. It was Yoongi and Tae's live, and the second one he did with Jungkook, where they talked about how they fought with each other, but they fought with each other and fell in love with each other.
Mm.
That's not something that. How do you feel about that? I don't want to give my opinion on it right now. Joanna, with a mind that's learning and growing, you and Tessa, if you want to speak to it, and Terry, with a mind that's growing, because they were between ages 13 and 18 at the time, talk about how they could fall in love with each other in this beautiful symbiotic way. Tessa, Joanna, whoever.
So, um, yeah, that phase and that development period is so fascinating. You'd think of Jungkook and his little, fawn eyes, and think of like even the eldest as Jin. But I mean, it's a time they talked, he talked about them having those arguments and being able to express, themselves and express their feelings and yeah, try to relay and figure out who they are individually. But I think with that, you know, and they've said that so many times, they moved from really, that's how they really became a family unit. Because they accepted each other and they knew, no matter how upset or what argument they got at, it's not good. They're not gonna go away. They're still gonna be there. They're still gonna be together to support each other as brothers, as a unit, as a family member, as a family. I mean, that's one of the things that I love so much about them. We're looking at this created family unit, this created family support. It's just a message of, so many army may not always have the support or the understanding of their own family members of their love of army and their love of BTS and the love of the music and the message. But we tend to come together to create our own support system, our own family unit. And even if we have differences and everything and we can have arguments, we're going to always be there for each other. One thing also that came to mind as you were saying that was that I'm trying to remember what it was as you were speaking. But that one thing that Jimin had said to Namjoon, going kind of back to his leadership, they sort of understand each other's roles and they understand what he had to do. But then, when Namjoon said that he had been too serious, so he wished he wasn't, that way all the time. But then Jimin really recognized and acknowledged, you know what, it's because of that we've had the success that we've had to this point. He acknowledged, he credited him for that, and he thanked him. And it's important in relationships. You have arguments, you have different things, you have different roles that you understand the people's weaknesses, but their strengths, and all in the end that you validate the person's feelings and emotions and their roles in the group. I think they did that really well, and that's one of the things that kept them together to become that family unit and to become who they are today over the years. If that makes sense. Would you agree, like Grace, in terms of the dynamics of teams? They're figuring themselves out. They're arguing, they're fighting, they're trying to figure out where they stand and how they feel. But
Yeah.
if you're not able to do that in a safe space, knowing that you're not going to be judged or you're not going to be, totally abandoned or anything, then you're able to develop from that.
Oh,
And
you just
strong.
came. Hi, sorry. No, I'm going to put myself on mute a moment. How are you?
But I do agree, like we were all teens, um so sometimes it warms my heart when they see me in the morning and they're like, can we go to your room when it's time for you to see us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And a lot of the times they just want to vent.
Right.
And they're like, they prefer to be with me than their regular teacher because they don't like her or they don't like him or whatever. And I've learned a lot this year. Basically, it makes you understand them more on what they need.
Right.
And all the things, it comes from home.
Right. There's so much happening outside of the school building, outside of that circle, that we're not aware of, and obviously impacts them in so many different ways. But to have that safe space with someone like you or one close adult that they don't have it all figured out, they're not sure about everything, but they just need to get it out, need to express it, need someone to just validate, like, I understand you're going through. That's really tough. It's a tough thing that you're going through right now. I'm here. You'll get through it. You're not alone. Those simple but such meaningful statements. Once they know that you're genuine, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, and a lot of the things we didn't even know that they were going through with BTS.
Hi! Hi, you guys. How are you?
What's up? How do you was there, Grace?
You guys carry the conversation for me.
That's all right. We're good.
I wish I was there, man.
Oh my goodness.
Next year. Are you going next year?
I would hope so. I would hope so. It'd be something else. But yeah. It just, the way that what I can appreciate so much, just going off sort of what Nisha said, that strong bond. And I didn't get to see all of Bang Bang Con. It was so
Mhm.
long.
Yeah, I'm behind on it.
Right. But like after this long period we have of each of them coming out with their solos and their styles and everything so unique, and they're really shining and they're really growing and developing, and then just kind of seeing them all back together again as a unit that
Mhm.
mesh so beautifully and complement each other. So it's just absolutely amazing. It's fascinating that they each can be so special and so unique and so defined, but then come together and just so naturally complement each other. That's a really
Mhm.
beautiful and a rare thing to see in
Mhm.
groups. And
Yeah.
that's it's a really special thing, I think, for me, for why I appreciate them so much.
Yeah. It's unique. You don't get that connection with every K-pop
Mhm.
group or every
Mhm.
group here in the US.
Right. It's hard to find that.
Mhm.
With each one really having that level of success on their own and then
Mhm.
just come back together. I mean, but of course, their journey as well too. 11 years, and how many years of being cramped up in. I mean, look from where they've come to where they are now.
I know.
Right. No one else could understand the dynamics and that growth and that bond between them because of that.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely lovely. So. Mm.
She's in a party.
I know, it's absolutely awesome. And with Jen coming back in a few days, do you believe it? Ugh, time
Listen,
has gone so
I
slowly, but it's
Sorry,
all
guys. I'm greeting Army as they come in
that's
for the show. People have found us through the live. Yay! And people have found us through our social media. So I want to make sure and greet them as we do this too. Thank you guys for carrying the conversation so much.
we've just
That
been
was
talking about their bond and how well they've been kept it together and looking at their growth as
so. I'm
well. They've been
gonna
doing their individual projects and then seeing them back together. It's just been so
So,
beautiful.
because of that, I'm going to actually jump really quickly into one specific lyric that I want to talk to you about,
Hmm.
and then go from that lyric from 11 years ago to where we are now. And literally, I feel like, and you guys know how I feel about So Far Away, right? You
Hmm.
understand how important it is to me.
Hmm.
It, shut
Hmm.
Sorry, guys. So far away, as you know, for me and C are like the two bookends of their entire conversation.
Hmm.
The entirety of our 11 years with them, Namjoon and Yoongi and Hobi, and then all of them included this narrative into all of their work.
Hmm.
I literally go and I count. Wait, did I find that phrase? Into the sea,
Hmm.
out of the desert is literally in 50 to 60% of their narratives in their thing. So let's talk a little bit about, yes, we have bad words in there, but you know what? Life is life, right? What is going to happen? I live because I can't die. I don't have anything I want to do. I'm in so much pain and loneliness, but there's just so many people around me. Isn't this Namjoon's album?
Hmm.
Isn't this growing? And he said, but wait a second, you know what? I don't care. You can take, you know the words.
Mhm.
I don't care. I don't need you to tell me not to smoke. I don't need you to tell me this. I don't need you to tell me that. I'm my own person. I don't need to be lost in this loneliness anymore. So keep telling myself to regain my consciousness. They have been, to I mean, deeply diving into this narrative now for 9 solid years. And I've tried to vent my anger, but I only have myself. Come on. I mean, so talking about these narratives, where why do you think, or do you think? Um, I'm trying to see if I could formulate this correctly because we're looking at our love for them. How much of this narrative did we connect to as Army? For me, everyone knows who's ever watched my show knows how deeply attached I am to Wings, and deeply attached I am to these songs, See and So Far Away.
Mm.
So tell me a little bit about your concept about why we connect to this language so much. We as ARMY.
Mm.
I think we lost Joanna. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Mm.
Grace or Tessa.
Mhm.
Terry's helping out with ARMY, so you don't see
Right.
her all that much.
I
So
know.
why do
So
you?
you mentioned and the screen that you had before on it. He has RM as well too. And I know you said groin and everything, but his especially his music video for the last song, right? With him being surrounded by people but disconnected in his own way, or not really connected and so far away.
Credit
And
credit roll?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
the very last song on his album,
lost, lost.
the other one.
Come back to me. Gotcha.
Yes,
Come
that
back.
that music video that he's surrounded by, but he's disconnected from people in different aspects of his life or in different sort of scenarios and stuff like that. But when I think back of the lyrics that you just did to it, Sugar, then he even in his when he did the and it's on Disney Plus, but like when he did the production about his music, how he came up with the album, he talked about relationships and how tough relationships can be, and how that's one of the toughest things in his life, just relationships and people and change relationships and everything. When I think about those, I think about that song because it's about ourselves in relation to others, ourselves in relationship to the world around us, what's happening around us, and how we feel about ourselves, how grounded we feel in ourselves, satisfied versus what's happening around us. That's what I think about when I think of those things and what I've kind of gotten from some of their messages.
Grace, Terry. So Terry, we're asking in terms of us as ARMY, and we have ARMY right here around us. What is it that from these messages that those child so far away dream? You read my book. She read my book. She's one of my reading editors. She's the ghost reader, so she knows word for word what I've done. What do you think is the connective force with those lyrics and us? What brought you here?
I think all of us have a story, but everybody's story starts off by you saying they help some kind of way they help you, whether you're suicidal, whether you're just really motivated. Everybody that I talked to today, that's why I was honest, they're all saying, oh, well, I thought having BTS because I was having bad before. I was having a lot of trouble with that. Some of my friends have too, and they told me about that. We were having issues, and you can identify with issues because they're open about the issues they have. You can identify with that, so that makes it easier for you to take what you're saying as something that will work for you because it's working for them.
And that they're so relatable and can present themselves as so vulnerable and so, dealing with the same issues that everyone else has. Just because they're BTS doesn't mean he can't be lonely. He doesn't feel like he doesn't fit in sometimes. It's just so
So
real.
I'm going to put up Always for a second. And reading Always is I don't know if a lot of people knew that he actually released this. It's an individual that he put out on SoundCloud. Um, in this loud alien world, silence. It's loud silence. I live to understand the world, but the world has never understood me. Why? Why? Know that half is missing. I'm trying to hurt my feet. I miss me. I miss me. Do you know how old this song is? This was put out in 2017, right?
Mm.
Think of the narrative that he was talking about at this time. This was the time at which they were going through Sageji. They were going through the roughest, ending Wings going into Love Yourself era. Look at the stress that they were living in, but look at the stress we were living in at that time as well. at a global level, we were all struggling. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know. Terry, you need to reach into my mic when you're speaking, otherwise they can't hear you, okay? Because they so weird. Sorry, guys, because if she has her mic on, it's the feedback is really bad because she's next to me, so I'm so sorry. But I'll just flip close to you. So think about what he said about living in silence. The sound around me is loud, but I'm in silence. How do you, as an army, what is it that message that we're learning from him from that message? And then is there one song that helps you to understand that message? Like which of their which of their anthology do you really tap in that says, I get that meaning now? Like for me, wow, everybody knows. So I don't have to say mine, right? But what song do you think it was that you tapped into so deeply? Go all the way back to that anthology. Go even back to Born Singer. I was thinking, wow, Born Singer actually really strongly kicks that in quite a lot. Ah, thank you so much. So we'll read Mildred's while you guys ponder. So most of see ourselves in their lyrics in some way, 1,000%. Terry, can you read it for me? I have to change my glasses. Sorry, guys. I apologize.
So when we listen to some songs, we totally understand what they went through, but they have a way to express it that we can identify with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
100,000%. I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. That was absolutely perfect, Mildred. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely perfect. Um, so if there are 50 to 70 million of us in the world who do not speak their language, the majority of us, because only so many speak it from here. If we're identifying, why did we identify? Um, why are our story today is called 11 years with BTS, always with you. That's the way it is. That's the way it's going to be. We are always going to be with them. I cannot see that changing, right? Why do you think that is absolutely the truth? And all the armies who are here today came out to see us because of that message. What is it? Why do you think? And what? Oh, and then that song. Give me that song you identified with. Starting to feel bad. Come on, you got this. I can't be the only one talking about my song. So, Army out there, what songs do you love? Which ones do you identify? Help you create a positive identity?
I'll throw one myself. August the last, because it talks about what things he went through, like depression, all that stuff, and a lot of those things I went through too. So that's why I connect a lot with Yoongi. We're like kind of like in this. We do so much for other people that we don't. A lot of the times we don't do for ourselves, basically.
Do you think that that's based on gender? Do you think that's based on culture? Do you think that's based on social status, or is it a little bit of everything?
I will say a little bit of everything because we come from different cultures, of course, but we have been raised in a way that is always you have to always give. Basically, you have to give a lot before you ask for yourself.
Very. Tessa, what are your thoughts? And what song would you say? So you said the last.
Right, she said the last. And I'm a huge Sugar fan as well. I love a lot of his songs. But I think Nisha knows that the Love Myself phase for BTS was the sort of thing that solidified things for me. Um, and Jin's song, um, I think that
Epiphany.
yeah, I think Jin's song's Epiphany. That's a really for him to come out, and all that we do, as you're just saying, to sort of go off what you were just saying, Grace, doing for others and loving others and giving others and stuff. Um, to really come out and strongly say that you really have to love yourself first, and that it's okay, and it's not just okay, it's necessary, it's needed to really ground and fill yourself up to then really be able to love others and extend others. It's not selfish, you know. So many cultures, especially in their culture, it's all about, giving to others and thinking about the bigger group and community. That you really have to know yourself, trust yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself, be yourself, have self-compassion, all that good stuff, to really ground yourself to be able to just blossom and move forward. So that song, Epiphany, had been a really important sort of changing point for me in my life. Um, and I think it's an important mental health message. Not just love yourself, but taking care of yourself. The whole self care message, self development, self exploration, and self worth is really critical to healthy development moving forward.
Yeah.
So,
Terry?
Mildred and Hillary said Epiphany, and then Mildred said Epiphany and Amygdala, which I agree.
mhm.
I, I think a good portion
Epiphany.
of the world agree with Epiphany for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Terry, your
For
thoughts?
me, it's bulletproof the eternal because
Bulletproof Eternal.
Yeah, I
because
love it.
are not and with you, and none of us are. Everybody is like one. If you meet somebody that's army, you're never by yourself. But it's not like there's two of you. There, everything becomes one when you meet BTS.
Everything becomes one. So it creates that connective dynamic for you. Dude, I can't hear the first three chords of that song without being in tears. So
Right.
actually, it makes it really hard to listen to it, to be honest with you. So,
And of
um,
course, the imagery in the music videos. I love. I always have to incorporate the music videos because it's how they choose to visually express it.
they to use the Tiny Tan and to show
Absolutely.
themselves the transition from
Absolutely.
the um,
Hmm.
Epiphany,
Yes.
exactly. I just wanna be happier, I agree with you on this one. She said, I'll
Mm,
talk about mine after, but blue and gray,
it's a
smart,
beautiful.
smart, smart, beautiful choice.
It is.
Beautiful choice. The concept of B in general, the entirety of the album of B, it's literally about B. It's about ego. It's about self. It's about identification and conscious. Um, she was trying to remember it. That's funny. And I think you're so right. Blue and Gray for me again, another song. Pretty much anything Tay writes.
Mm,
It to your soul because the man writes everything from his soul. Um, totally agree with that. Oh, love it. But she said her favorite line, "I just want to be happier." You go to
mm,
sleep and that's what you want, right? Uh, Gosh, I've been with the boys a long. Yeah, I know. And then exactly, Mildred. I mean, I was about to say the same thing. I've been with them so long. I have to really dig like far back in my brain. I
mhm,
actually thought that strange, right? Completely strange, but Dope and Jump, while we may not think of them as these really instinctively,
mm,
dynamically connective songs, they make me jump in a way and move and feel. They
mhm,
make me connect to the message of who I can be and
mm,
how to take that energy and always put aside the things that weigh me down. And
mhm,
when we read the book Beyond the Stars, we realized what dope meant.
mm,
Chara wasn't just about sweat. It was the sweat of your brow. It was the sweat of your existence. It was the sweat of me, myself, and them working together, but us
mhm,
working together and saying, Chara, I don't care. I have to embrace that. And I need to embrace and understand what it means to be dope. I don't think a lot of people know what dope
mhm,
means until you actually read the book and then
mhm,
realize how important it was to them. And with Seven Doors, Seven Gems, which is coming out because we're working with Joanna on the printing on it, we actually deeply go into danger. the Dark and Wild era. And I really, really, really highly recommend that everyone goes into the Dark and Wild era and really look at those songs as much as you can. And hopefully our book would help a little. But so that's good. How about Butterfly? Absolutely. But how about 0 o'clock?
Mm. A lot of people. That's a lot of people. That's their go-to for a lot of people. I've heard that.
It's about the letting go
Yeah, starting fresh.
and starting fresh.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's what we do every day, right?
Right.
We let go and we have to start all over again. I'm going to try my best to get. Sorry, you hear what's. Sorry, you know what? I had to stop. It's Crystal Snow, people.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay, got it, got it.
my heart has been tingling the whole time. Here comes his triple
Yeah.
high note. My man and his note. I'm trying to get Eugene out here, but with us having the event, he's also really busy. But I really, really want you guys to be able to see him for a moment. Oh, girl, let me tell you, I wasn't there from debut. I mean, I started like a year after, but I don't feel like I fully engaged in BTS until 2016. 2017, when my father passed away, I had just before he passed away started to outcry. I told him what, hey, you know, it's not a show if I don't cry. Okay, everybody knows me by now. Spring Day had come out, right? And he asked me in the months before he passed, why did I love them so much? And no judgment whatsoever. And he said, why do you love them so much? And why do you hide that so much? Why do you hide it? Why don't you just love them? And I told him because I think people are going to think I'm a crazy old woman, you know, because I'm not young. And he said, who cares? Ginny. I'm an 027. But in those moments, I introduced him to BTS just before he passed away. He told me, go and embrace my life. Go and embrace them. If this is what I meant to do, go do it. If I was meant to go see them, go see them. And he passed away. And that couldn't happen. And it took me 5 years to be able to get to them. So it took from 2014 to 2017 to let myself engage with them where I let the world know I engaged. And it took me from 2017 to 2019 before my daughter said, what are you doing? Go to everything. Go. Tessa, you know her. She supports. Gracie, everyone here knows my children. You know how much they support this. And so as an army, how many of us, exactly, Hillary, how many of us do you hid that love, that true inertia, that true instinct to connect to BTS because we thought we were crazy. We thought it was not the right thing for our age. Any of those things. And what would we say to Army who are struggling with that?
Right. And just to expand on that, that's you're talking about identity and self. It's a representation of other things in ourselves, of who we are and what we love and who we want to share, that sometimes we're just not comfortable. So yes, it may be BTS, we're talking about BTS here too, but it's a bigger picture and the bigger issue of us trying to be comfortable with other things that we love and who we are and trying to share that with others too. That's the bigger, we're talking about identity, we're talking about what we love and what we're passionate about. And just this love of BTS is one thing too, but that's the bigger context of it all too. Being able to connect and share love with others.
Exactly. I think let's speak to what Hillary's saying here because it's right exactly in this message because the boys had to hide so much of who they were their personalities, right? Their characteristics. They had to live alone in a sea of sound, right? Live alone as an ocean in a sea of in a desert because they were constantly hiding who they were until the one day during the HYYH era was being created, and they said, well, we need to not do this anymore. And all of a sudden we started to get their true narrative, right? We'd been getting it, we just weren't getting to hear it the way we needed to. um, we face ageism and discrimination on a regular basis. It doesn't matter. My workplace, BTS is everywhere. It doesn't matter. Let them discriminate. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who cares, right, Terry? Just let them discriminate. What do you tell people about BTS, Terry?
Well,
Scream this way.
well, they pretty much can see just. I have an entire room in my house. When I moved, I made sure that I had enough room to put things out. And I don't, for me, I don't get a lot of the little, what a lot of people consider cartoony kind of things. Because I was getting the, oh, do you belong to aren't they a cult? And I'm like, no. Have you ever listened to their message and you just tell them, like, pick your favorite song and tell them what that means to you and tell them about all the people that they saved from, self-destruction. I do a lot with the non-Jews speeches at the UN.
Yeah.
Because some people make some very credible. I don't know why they think they're out banned, that they can't have, more credibility. But that's what I get a lot of. Oh, she likes these little kids. And it's like, that little kids for one thing. And have you ever listened to anything? So I try to engage people. At least have them watch one show or something.
Yeah, I always tell people that the Beatles were kids when they started. One Direction, New Kids on the Block. Everybody was kids, but now we have blockheads, 25 years later because it's their message. And New Kids on the Block are a fantastic group of people, so are Boys to Men. I mean, they're fantastic human beings. They have a great message. No difference. They just happen to speak a different language. That's what it is. And I also speak a lot about being Army by proxy. My family, all of them now have their own BTS playlist of the songs they love, but they found it on their own. Tessa, I didn't force it on them at the police, correct?
I remember when she finally said she was Army. Come on.
You remember I messaged you? I was like, oh my God, she finally said she's Army. I never pushed her. She's been with me for years. My daughter, years she's been with me, but at no point in life did I ask her, my daughter, or her wife, or my son, or anyone else in my family to become Army, because I don't. Why would I do that? Becoming Army is an experience.
Exactly.
It's part of your identity. It's your personality. It's your self-awareness. I self-reflected years to get to this place.
Right.
Army is not. Here's the big thing. Army is not just about listening to their music.
No, and Mildred has a really good point. Even though she put her comment, she doesn't say something about, well, they're not ready to accept BTS. Mildred starts out by saying they're not willing to love themselves. I think
There's a lot of
if
truth.
you don't love yourself enough, you're not going to accept anything.
Or anybody else who has that message, just to clarify, because it's not that BTS is the only one with this message. Look at what Halsey has this message, right? Halsey, who's the fantastic, beautiful friend. Lady Gaga has this message, who's this hugely amazing being, and Taylor Swift. They all have these beautiful messages, but we have to be ready to listen to that message, right? We have to be ready inside of ourselves. But what they're giving us is the ability to move from drowning in the ocean and drowning in the desert to being able to sit at the edge of the ocean and on that beach and take it all in and be comfortable in it. Just like in the song, they're showing them being able to find their way through that desert. So, it's about it's about that confidence, who we are, knowing who we are, what we like, what we don't like. And the crazy, massive thing about this is that you have these boys, who for 11 something years have been having the same struggle we've had. If we didn't get the solo work, would we have known about their struggle to
Right.
the level that we know it? I'm sorry, but we would not have. Hobie took the world and shook it and broke it, cracked it and an earthquake when he created More. More took the world and went, what? Everybody went, what?
Is that BTS?
BTS! And then, but he shook the world with More and with Arson because it was a change narrative. So, go ahead. Tessa, you were going to say something?
Oh no, I was just like when I was in probably like last year, and I was saying when I first got to know BTS, and then I saw his performance, I'm like, wow, is he? That's a guy in BTS. How is this related? How is that different? To then be able to explore, as you're saying, each of them and start to get to know them and know their stories a little bit more. It was quite fascinating for me as a new army. Yeah.
Exactly. It took Jyoti forever to even listen to it. My daughter, because it wasn't a narrative. The narrative was fine. It wasn't the narrative. It was the sound. And I was like, oh, that's fine. You don't have to listen to that sound. Not everyone's going to be able to handle Namjoon's album. As we said at the onset of this conversation, it's not always the easiest thing. I mean, he has such a strong 70s vibe. It's hitting it hard and crushing it. Speaking of Beatles, because there's a lot of I love the sampling. Hope just literally, Hope took me. I was in Korea when it came out, I was here on my first trip. That thing came out, and I was like, holy cannoli, what is this? I was freaking out because I was with my friend Asha in my room, and we were like, what is this? But then I realized the narrative moved all the way through, and his entire Hope in the Box, Back in the Box, it literally started before they even debuted. Go back to the narrative and understand how he got his name. If you want to know about personality and identity crisis and confrontation and how to sustain, lose and then sustain, and then lose it and then sustain it, listen to Jack in the Box. The man is telling you from the beginning to the end, you know what? I found it, I lost it. I found it, I lost it. I crashed, I got up again. I crashed, I burned, I got up again. You know what I mean? He's talking us through that. I mean, I'm going to try and get Eugene. So you guys talk about that conversation and what solo, because we're coming to the end. What narratives, what solos, what speeches you think, if you had to recommend to ARMY, what would you recommend to them to be able to sustain their conscious self-awareness, self-love, self-care? What would you recommend to them? Like I just told you guys, go back to Jack in the Box. to right place, wrong person. Go to that. Look at that, the wealth of that, But of course, Wings is literally about the crack in the wall and the crack in the mirror and the shattering of our reflection in order to find the real reflection on the other side of it. So I'm going to try and see if I can get Eugene. I'll be right back with you guys.
I don't know, Grace, but you might join me in on this one. I think the ultimate, well, for me, when I look at the journey, the exploration of self, as she was just saying, finding yourself, losing yourself, that up and down, and then in the end, giving that message of hope, and that has been Yoongi's journey, his tour. The very last show when he walked through that door, I mean, for me, and I guess also because he's also been the only one to do that tour, that world tour, and be able to go and the way he presented, he's a genius in his presentation as well too, how he had the different elements of the platform taken away and stripped down, and I guess when I'm thinking about the journey, as she just said, and the different members and how they choose to show it. What sticks with me most has been Sugar's of his 3 albums, and then how he chose to portray it and present it on his tour. What do
Mm.
you think?
Um,
Hmm.
because I know Nisha asked what will we recommend to new armies. What I
Hmm.
will recommend them is go from the beginning.
Hmm.
That's how you can understand all the struggle that they've been through and compare them from like the first CD or performance that they did with like probably like less than 300 people
Hmm.
to
That's
now.
fair. To know who they are and what they do.
Yeah.
And here we go. He's,
Yay!
thank you so much for coming on.
We finally get to meet you. Hello. Thank you.
On purpose, otherwise the feedback. So just speak really loud. It's on my mic. Here, I'll bring it over. Hold on. Yeah. So can you introduce yourself a little? You're good.
Owner of SUPERSTARDDUCK Topokki.
Can you hear? He's so.
Thank you for having me.
Hey. Thank you for hosting us and allowing us to do the live show here today. Would you mind telling everybody about how you fell in love with Bangtan?
Uh, my wife was Army before. Um, I just I just see her love guys, and in COVID period, I love music, and I just started to listening to Bangtan music.
Mhm.
So there's really music in our restaurant. We work all day, 12 hours a day. So I put some BTS songs in my playlist. Then I I like some songs like DNA and some songs like before. I really love their songs since then. So yeah, I have to celebrate their birthday. I start from public. So
And that is amazing. How? Okay, I'm going to call him out on this one. He's a Namjoon bias.
I wear a Seokjin t-shirt.
He has his Sukjin. He has his pink Sukjin on for me. No, just kidding. He made a lovely PC, the lenticular. Let me show it to them. Um, why did you decide to make this huge change in the restaurant
I love
to be
that.
able to focus on Bangtan the way that you do?
First of all, we are very close, 1 minute away from Hyde.
Right
Mhm.
there.
Fans just walking around all the time, and they just ask me, if you like Bangtan, please celebrate their birthdays and
Yep.
please do some things with Bangtan. That's alright. That's not using Bangtan for marketing. If you love Bangtan, then you express yourself. So we make some souvenirs every birthday. We give it out for free to the fans, and they really love it. I love it. So.
You have a message.
Oh,
You had four
oh,
messages already.
Hillary, hi. Frequent customer
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Toronto.
yeah.
She's amazing.
We
Thank you.
we have also Manfim, which she went to out there, but she's also came from San Francisco for you, and they came, and then this family they came also, and then we've had a few people come on the chat.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, so Eugenia is absolutely amazingly. You gotta speak louder into my mic.
Okay.
This way. Let's just do it this way.
Okay.
So Eugene, you and I are working on this wellness project, and we're launching. If you were here, you'd be able. I'll put them up in a little to show everyone. Part of the book is the four worksheets that we're going to be putting out, and he and I really connected so much because of mental health. It was our I think, our biggest connection,
Yeah.
Bangtan and mental health. And so we are now launching a 2024 to 2025 year initiative, and our worksheets will be right here. So anyone who comes to Superstar will be have access to our PCs
Yeah. Yeah.
and our wellness packet. This is actually the only place you're getting it. I'm not even going to have it where I am in the States unless you guys ask me. Why is mental health so important for you?
Uh, I I've had difficult times many times. So I before talked to Nisha about my problems, and she just told me some good things about that, and I get some uh, relief relief from her. So it's many people are just having problems these days, and we are just together with Bangtan, and if we can help each other, then they'll be awesome for us. So that's why I do things with Nisha, and
We're so lucky.
thank you.
So we asked what song, if you had to choose one. I know that's not easy. Okay, I understand this. One recommend to new army that would help with mental health. Which one? So many.
Oh, I think yeah, that there's so many.
It's too
Yeah,
hard. Well,
mm,
then a few. Which one? Which few?
uh, also, I just freeze, but
We said Epiphany. We said Bulletproof Eternal. What else did we say? We
We
said
said
The
zero.
love.
Yeah.
yeah. I love all the songs of Bangtan, but uh,
Well, anything
pers-
that's Namjoon.
yeah, personally, I like Home. Yeah,
I love that you love
mhm,
that song.
and like I don't know.
But
I,
you told me for right place wrong person. You love
growing, yeah,
Grind.
growing, yeah, and come back to me. I love two songs, and I love growing because uh, probably everyone thinks Namjoon's just a nice guy, and he's a leader, but in growing, I think he expressed his inner self, right?
Yeah.
He just cuts it and
Yeah.
do his
Why
thing.
not? Do your thing.
So yeah, sometimes that helps the mental
Yeah.
status. You know,
Yeah.
if you're angry, then you just express
Yeah.
that feeling. You have to do it.
Well, Hillary, you said dang, hug,
Hmm.
well, and cipher three.
Yeah,
Cipher,
yeah.
that's they're just a expression
Hmm.
of
Hmm.
all of
I
them.
love Psycho too. Yeah.
Cipher two is yours. Oh my god, I love Cipher. Cipher two is like one of the most lyrical and
Yeah. I love Psycho
musical
too.
note. It is so complex, massively complex. And thinking about the fact that it's on from their second album, it's insane. So thank you so much. He's
Thank you.
busy. I had to pull them
Oh,
away from work.
Thank you.
thank you for
Thank you.
everything you did.
It's his
And
first time
good
live.
to
Tell
meet
him
you
you did
guys.
great. You did
You
wonderful.
were
Thank you.
You did amazing.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. So now you'll do another one in the future.
Okay.
great.
All right. See you guys. Thank you so much. And see you in
See you
Superstar
in Super.
Topokki.
Yep,
And
right here next year. All of them are with me next year.
okay.
We're
Bye,
gonna do the
guys.
show again
Thank
next
you.
year.
Thumbs up.
Bye.
Up Cipher 4 and 2. Yup. Killing parts, girl. They're made that way for a reason. I think we should do a show on all of the killing songs.
I know.
Because now we have like 57 or something that we can talk about. So, hey, I'm gonna just really quickly run through the banners. Um, so you're going to be getting a series which is called BTS Anniversary. This one is Jin with you. This is basically explains what these. So this is our new banner, guys. This is the way you're going to be seeing it come out. We actually have one for all of the members, and there's a PC attached to it that will be coming. So everyone's going to have. You guys will have access to them. Sorry, I was kidding, but it's going to come in a different way. The package we're leaving for him has It has a different series in it, two-sided series. Actually, it's going to come with these. So I'm going to take that off 1 second. So the package that's going to be coming at Superstar, you're actually going to be getting these PCs. Do you see them?
I love, love, love them.
Nice.
Yeah. So these are made very specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and it's our Always With You series. So the whole thing is BTS 11th Anniversary Festa. So you're going to be getting that. That comes with two other PCs. You're also going to be getting this, which we didn't talk as much about today, but we have a few quick moments. So this series, which is the next last year we did self-care with BTS. This year we're launching and we're actually moving it into the bulletproof eternal conversation. The dual set with Bangtan moves forward now. We've really meant well, and we're working with mental wellness. Of BTS Army as the focus, and it's open the mind. So we're going to be using the UNICEF Open the Mind campaign that the boys have created, and that's what we're going to be working with. So you're going to see it on this new one right here. Open the Mind is at the bottom. What we are asking you to do with these is actually the project elements are at the top about focusing. So let me see if I can go over it really quickly. It's still set with Bangtan wellness worksheets for daily self-love and self-support reminders. So you'll be getting those. Wellness Time of BTS is dedicating a 1 hour a day beginning Festa 2024 to Festa 2025 to your own personal, mental, and emotional wellness journey, and use one of our dual set with Bangtan whiteboard sheets, which you'll be getting as well. Participate in annual Valentine's Day self-love and self-acceptance self-care with BTS workshop. Every year we do 2 to 3 of these workshops, and we do them so Army has the opportunity to uh, fuel their wellness. Oops, I turned off my plug by mistake. Sorry, guys. I don't know how I did that. It's because actually it's proven that Valentine's Day, guys, am I right about this? Valentine's Day is actually a really, unfortunately, there's a lot of depression at that time because
Yeah.
people feel very isolated. Right, Tessa? Yeah, during the holidays. So, and then using the wellness worksheets we release every 2 months on our site, create a daily self-reflective activity guide for and these four things below: self-care with BTS, still set with Bangtan, and its both focus goals are these four things right here. This is it. We've made it simple. Learning to say no and believing it, breathing deeply and letting go, creating boundaries, and allowing yourself to self-accept. These are our four goals that we're focusing on for Army from 2024 to 2025. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So the bigger one, which is this guy here, goes into it a little more in depth, where we explain a little bit more what those mean. The other one actually helps you to know what you could do for yourself. And this is the worksheet that we're going to give you to work on. And so all of these will be coming. We have actually just finished the last of the 10 worksheets, and this book will be put into a little package, and everyone will have access to buy that purchase. Because remember, we're a nonprofit, so we do have to fund our projects, and so whatever you can give to us will be amazing. Thank you so much. And then we also have this one. So there's two series. One is the OT7 series that's coming, the PCs, and then the individual, the collages. I didn't show all of them to you. We launched Ginny's because it's Gin Festa. Hi, Flor! Oh my God, she's here! Hi! She's traveling, so that's why she couldn't join us. I'm actually not sure where she is at the moment, but it looks fun. Aww. Yeah, Eugene is so lovely. I'm so happy you guys were actually able to meet him finally. I've talked about him forever, so yay. Oh, you're working. You're back at work. Ah. Oh, yeah, it's going to be amazing. So just keep an eye out on our Instagram and our TikTok. The links for the digital access to the workbooks will be coming pretty soon. The worksheets will be going up. They really don't cost much. Everything costs no more. Oh, yep. Actually, thank you so much for asking. we're going to go and run real quick to our banners, and I'm going to show you our links because I've been so busy, I haven't been able to put them all up. Just remember, we are a suicide prevention organization. We're doing our best to help people to be able to find strategies and tools to reduce the risk for suicidality. If you need anyone, reach out. Reach out. Here in the U.S., this is your hotlines. If you need help with finding a hotline anywhere near you, and we actually had in the last few months we had a crisis where we had to do that. Oh, they should have done something. Okay, perfect. Then reach out to us and we'll help you find what's in your area. So this is you can find us at the Bangtan Philosophy on Facebook. You can find us at Living Bangtan 7 on Twitter or X. You can find us at Living Bangtan 7 on YouTube, which we're streaming this live on right now. Our sister or our parent company is called diversitygeek.org. You can find our research, and we will update the research page with the mental health page with all of these worksheets. They are watermarked, so please, please, please do me a favor. Read them, enjoy them, but please do not copy them because they are all licensed to my work and our product, which this team has worked on for a year. Right, guys? So, the healing messages of Bangtan. And that's
also want to encourage people, probably to repost the link, tell us your story. We're planning on putting as many stories.
put it in here. Put it into the comments. Just give it to me. I'll put it in the comments. So the part of that is a year-long project to collect 700 stories, testimonials. They'll be going back out on our site. Share them to everybody you know. Everybody that you know. Let's try and get those testimonials. Oh, it's okay, Reka. It's not a problem at all, my God. Like next time, the next live that we have, just make sure. I keep telling everybody, if you see me go live and it's close to Festa, please jump on because you never know who I'm seeing or what's going on in that moment. Aww. Being Army's full-time job. I work in neurology and internal medicine full-time, but follow us on YouTube. Make sure all of our sites, Instagram and TikTok, because we're doing our lives on Instagram and TikTok. Terry, we couldn't hear you. Say it again. They couldn't hear you.
That we're encouraging people to, we're going to post the link for you to be able to tell you a story. We're trying to gather as many stories as we can. So next year during Festa, we'll have to put together a little book to give to the boys of all these people's testimonials as to how Bangtan has helped them. So put a link out that you can just fill out your story so that we can tell you.
Please, please, please tell us your stories, guys. I want the boys to hear these stories. And all of those stories actually go directly into our research. We're at the very tail end of that research that we started for Hive based on the BTS ARMY dynamic 2 years ago. August will be the second year, and the full paper is almost ready to go. So, all right. So thank you so much. We are actually just past our time, and I told everybody it would be a long show today because it was going to be live the way. Thank you so much to Grace and Tessa for being on. This was fantastic. How was your experience on today's show?
Good.
Very good.
Grace, so little words. She's like, good.
I'm on vacation mode.
I know, Grace, we don't have school tomorrow, so we're good.
I know.
I was like, thank God there's no school in Florida. Yay. I'm so sad we lost Joanna. Oh my goodness. But at least this was so great. I was so happy. I wanted to have this team of us who were able to work on this narrative of the growth of Bangtan in the 11 years and why so can you all give me, as we close out, what always with you means to you as a theme? So 11 years with BTS, always with you. What does it mean to you?
You want to go first? That's fine.
Sure, Grace, go ahead.
Trying to do too many things at once. That's okay. Just say it.
I can go if you want.
Yeah, you can go. I'm still thinking of something.
That's okay. I don't know. I'm thinking always with you. We have Nam June's most recent album as well too. No matter kind of what phase you're at, what you're going through, where you're at, sort of in your journey, um, their message, their songs, uh, as a group of BTS or as their individual work that they've been doing, there are always elements that you can really identify with and help you along your journey and give you that
I love it.
positive, hopeful, healthy way of coping with it, and getting through it. And to know that you're not alone, that they've been through it, but there's also other army have been through that too. So it just gives you that connectiveness
Hold on, hold on. We're almost done. Hang
no
on.
matter what.
Mhm.
That it can always really be with you, a part of you, and be part of your journey as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel the same.
Ditto. Yay. Okay. Yeah.
It's like no matter what you're feeling, if depending on how you're feeling, depends on a song that you can listen to.
Right. Absolutely.
How about you, Terry?
Well, we're never at a loss for a way to help ourselves. Either you can read it, you can listen to it, or you can watch it. Because how many people have watched a Run BTS episode
Oh yeah.
laughing on a day that might have been really horrible for you to start out with?
My favorite is the one that they are playing soccer.
They're so bad, especially when they're tied together.
Oh
Oh,
my
thank
god.
you, Mildred. That's right, my baby. I love you, Mildred. The best thing about Bangtan, always with you, is that there's 70 something million of us. We have my friend Manfam over here from San Francisco Bay Area. Wait. I'll move it around so you can see her. Hold on. Look at Army. Hi. What is always with you mean to you about BTS?
I met a lot of friends through BTS.
She made a lot of friends through BTS.
Mhm.
Otherwise, would not have. I agree. I would never have met my lovely friend over here without BTS. Right? Always with you means that sense of family. I love it. Simple, perfect. Oh my gosh, always with you. They're part of my genetics now. They're part of my literally my DNA. I couldn't extricate them if I tried, and I don't want to. And I can't see myself ever wanting to. So I believe that they will always be within me, part of who I am, um, part of my personality, part of my identity. And
Mm.
I couldn't have imagined a better vehicle, medium, model, or a group of people to help me find myself.
Mhm.
So they will always be with me.
Mm.
I don't think I can see a moment where I won't listen to at least one of their songs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm considering. So thank you guys so much for being on today. I just put the Google form in here. I'm going to go drop it into all of our sites. I'm going to jump off and say bye, and we're going to be bringing. Oh, Manfam is here because she wanted a gin second session with me. Wow!
Congrats, ladies.
Congratulations.
So happy for you.
What's insane is 7 of my friends won. 7. I'm like, wait, what are the odds? 7 people I know out of 4,000. It's just insanity. It's insanity. We're gonna have such a good group of us on the 13th. We have a huge. Now our group is big. Like I think we're about 13 of us now who are gonna be hanging out and chilling together over the next 2 days. Gin watch, guys. Keep your eyes open. I am telling you, if I go live and it's the 12th, you know you better get on. All right, my loves, thank you so much. We have new people who just came on. I feel so bad. We have so many people who just came on, and I'm like, what am I going to? They do this to me every time. We're about to end. So, We're going to do another real quick live, and it's actually going to be gin focused between now and Festa, or now and the 14th. So keep an eye out for that as well. It'll be a very short one, but we don't want to do it now because we want to see what happens when he comes home and what his first live is about. And once I see the live, then I think we'll feel more comfortable about having that conversation. And I promise you, we are going to be sharing live all the way on the 13th as much as we can, because we get to do the beginning of Festa, right? Because from when it opens from 11, and then we have to line up at 3. Second session is we line up at 3, I think. But I think we line up at 3 and then we check in at 4. We have the same. We're still waiting. Oh my God. Like, our viewers are just going up crazy right now. So I'm not sure what to do. Okay. So yeah, just keep an eye out for us. We're going to be hitting the lives as much as we can in the next few days. And love to everybody. And you guys, 11 years with BTS, always with you, always with my ARMY family, always with ARMY from around the world. We are so happy that you joined us today and that you were part of our experience. Welcome. Are you ARMY? Welcome, ARMY. How are you? Some more ARMY here. Oh, thank you so much, Mildred. Thank you so much, Hillary, for coming on. I really appreciate you. We're going to be giving our little, we want to see our little giveaway real quick?
Oh, that's so cute.
Giveaway.
So cute.
But today's giveaway is this, but then we have an actual packet that's being plastic wrapped and stuff that will be available through purchase from Eugene. So that'll be, I'm so excited, guys. Gracie, can you imagine that this is what we get to give to ARMY for the next year? And remember, we opened Living Bangtan 7 the day Jin left. My heart is feeling like, yeah, it was the day he left. That's how Living Bangtan 7 happened. It happened. Are you guys eating, or do you want something specifically? Tell them about the place before. Hold on one second. Go. I'm sorry, I'm letting Terry go play.
Okay. I gotta go sleep.
Tell them about the food and all this stuff. Sorry. We don't own. We're doing a live show, a BTS live show for my company there, right here. Living Bangtan 7, that's us. And we're doing I'm mental health. I teach mental health with BTS. So we're doing that, and we have a giveaway. So you can come and take something. She'll give you something. Sorry, guys.
I know. We gotta go sleep.
See you soon. Love to everybody. 1.5 years later, Living Bangtan 7 started with Jenny leaving and is now, well, we're going to continue because we have a year and plus to go. But here we are 1.5 years later, and we're physically on site in Seoul to see our Jenny come home physically because we won, guys. We won. Listen, I have to tell you, at first I thought I won the hug. I bawled. I bawled regardless. It didn't matter that we just won the second session. We cried, right? We won. We were like, my heart was just like dying. I can't even explain to you. I haven't viscerally cried for a long time, and I didn't think that I would cry, but I bawled. It was, my heart just broke. It just, and I question my love for them, but then I have these moments and I'm like, no, this is truly who I am. You know, who you see, my love for them is so indelible to my existence. That is why they're always with me. And I will give everything to ARMY that I can, which you know I will. So, all right, my love, thank you so much for being here. I love all of you guys so much. Apo Banco. You know, I can't do a heart. I suck. All right, follow Living Bangtan 7 on all social media, TikTok and Instagram to find our lives. TikTok and Instagram so you get our lives. Don't miss seeing Jin live, guys. Okay? All right, bye-bye.